Warning, this video contains the topic of nicotine and nicotine products. If you are the age of 18 or under 18, we do not recommend that you dip, smoke, vape, or use any tobacco or nicotine products. Dip tobacco is not a safer alternative to cigarettes, vape, nicotine, or any dip tobacco or any nicotine product whatsoever. If you are the age of 21 or older, dip, smoke, vape, or use any tobacco or nicotine products at your own risk. Mileage may vary. That does not make you part of the Miles High Club. We are not sponsored nor endorsed by any dip tobacco product or company that you may see or hear in this video. Enjoy the video. What's crack-a-lackin', y'all? Conservative Video Dipper here, back with another video. We're going to talk to y'all about how to tell your family that y'all are a dipper. So, pack, dip, and spit with me if you got a dip. Pack a lip. If not, I got one in for y'all. We're dipping on, of course. Grayson Longcoat Wintergreen, because that is the king of all dips. How to tell your family that you are a dipper. Alright, hold on a sec. Alright, so, let's get into it. So, these kind of conversations might not be so easy for some, and it may be kind of a breeze for others, but no matter what, remember, it's going to be a-okay. At the end of the day, you're going to be okay, and you can choose what you want to do. Because, hell, you're an adult. So, just know that it will be fine. And no matter what, your parents should always love you. And you should always love them. And you should have that respect. And they should respect you. That's the key point too. But also, be honest. Be honest with your family. Because your family is important. As much as it's important that you love them, they love you. Honesty. Being honest and genuine with what you do, it does help because the conversation would go a lot better if you're honest than dishonest and disingenuous. A lot of people sometimes think, well, if I don't tell them and they don't know, they don't see anything, and they don't know anything, the better. Sometimes what they don't know may not hurt them, but they at some point are going to figure out what you're doing. So, it's always good to kind of be honest. Another good key point is when you're talking to them, be calm, be cool, be collected. Because if you're calm, cool, and collected, you're going to have a better conversation. The conversation will go smooth. It's not going to go as bad. And you will have your points proven more. You will be able to have a better mindset. They will be able to have an open mind. You'll be able to have an open mind. Whether they're trying to make points or you're trying to make points, both sides can have their points heard, and their sides can be heard just as equally and just as valued, and nobody's going to have to walk away angry. Because nobody likes their feelings hurt, right? Especially in 2025, facts over feelings, right? Or feelings over facts, I don't know. Some people think feelings over facts, but we go with facts over feelings over here. So, be open-minded. Be calm, cool, and collected. Another thing that I do always recommend is try to have some information readily available. That is really, really good. Potent information that you will know about dip tobacco. Probably stuff that is not really information that you will need. Is like, hey, when did it start? Stuff like that is not needed. But things like, um, what's in it, what does it do, the effects, what, how does it do to people, and how, for instance, if comparing to smokers and people that dip, what are the effects from, dippers and smokers, which one's kind of out of the lesser two evil. They're both not really safer alternative, but which one is a better, not better alternative, but which alternative would be one that is a lesser aggressive alternative, which would be dip. And then if you have to, there's a video out there that Outlaw and Mudjug one had, that they interviewed a doctor talking about how dipping saves smokers' lives. Bring up that video. Have them watch it with you if you can. Because maybe if they watch it and they're open to watching it with you, that might open the conversation a little bit more. They might be open minded to understanding, wow, that is absolutely probably a better alternative to smoking. Maybe not a safer alternative, but better than smoking because, well, you're not going to get lung cancer, but yeah, you still can possibly get lip cancer and maybe some other cancer, but still, it's better than smoking. Just saying. So at least you have information, again, readily available that you're giving them, and they can either read or watch, that they will be able to have up here now that you have given them with some sources. So again, you're kind of still using some facts, not going by, hey, I feel like this, and this. You're using facts to help your claim that this is kind of why, not really much of a claim, but you're helping your case of this is why I choose this, and this is why I do what I do, and this kind of helps your claim of why this is better than smoking or vaping in some sort of way. Again, also remember, this is not a debate. You're not trying to debate them and do a I gotcha moment. You're not trying to argue against a liberal. So don't come at them like you're trying to do that. If you try to start that, that's going to totally, completely just ruin everything. Come in with, again, being very calm, cool, collected. But don't come in like you're trying to own these people, like you're thinking that these people are liberals. Because that's not what you're doing. You're just having a conversation. You're not trying to do it, again, in a I gotcha moment. You're just trying to help them understand. So you're trying to be more empathetic to their maybe misunderstanding or not understanding to why you're doing it. Now, if they ask you, hey, why do you do this? Again, tell them why you do it. Be honest again with why you do it. Why do you choose to do it? Because if you tell them what made you do it, why you do it, when did you do it, pardon me, at least they can understand a little bit of more to this is what makes you feel the need to do it. And it might give them a little bit, not just of an understanding, but it will give them something to look at, of a glimpse into, I wouldn't say just empathy, but yeah, I'm understanding, but kind of a open-minded type thought process to seeing why these things are your choice into your everyday life now that you've chosen this. So use that as you will, but definitely make sure that you do tell them if they do ask you why, because that is important that you do tell them that too. Well, things may not always go as planned, and of course, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here we come with the ugly. What if they start really pounding you and hounding you with the uglies? What do you say? Shut up, stomach. I wasn't talking to you. Sorry, my stomach's grumbling. Anyway, so what do you say if they get a little nasty with you? So again, calm, cool, collected. Just be honest about, again, your intentions. Say, look, my intentions here are not to argue or debate with you. I'm not here to try to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm not here to try to upset no one. I'm not here to try to make anyone angry about what I do. That was not my intentions in any sort of way, shape, or form. But I just want you to know that this is why I do what I do, and this is what I do. And I'm coming at you, I'm talking to you and then with an open dialogue, having an open discussion and dialogue, so that you are aware, because, I think that honesty is really important, and honesty should be something that everyone should be doing, and everyone should keep doing in their everyday lives. And stomach, shut up. Sorry. Damn stomach. You have to have an opinion in everything, and I don't want it right now, so shut up. Son of a dick. Anyway, so that's why I'm coming at that's why I'm talking with you. And I'm sorry that you are feeling a little upset right now, and that was not my intention. And at least that way you're trying to de escalate. It's a good idea sometimes, definitely, to try to do a little de escalation, because it might help, but it might not always help. But if you can try to use a little of that de escalation tactic, and it may work, but if it doesn't, then just remember this: it's okay to walk away. It's okay to just at that point decide, you know what, to be the bigger person, to walk away and say, this conversation really is not going in the direction that I thought it was going to go. Maybe another time we can have this discussion, but right now it's not the appropriate time to uh, be able to have this discussion, so I guess I should walk away. And that's okay too, because you don't want to instigate more of an argument or a problem. You don't want, everything but the kitchen sink and your grandma's china glasses being thrown at you, metaphorically or physically, allegedly. So walk away. Be the bigger person if you have to. And that's okay too, because it means that you understand and you're reading the room. And that's another key point too, is try to read the room. Read what is going on. Body language reading. If there's a little bit of comfortability, try to remember that if you feel like there's a little intensity, it's okay to kind of feel like, well, I feel like there's a little bit of intensity kind of starting to reach up in here. Maybe let's just hold off on this conversation, and we can do it in a little bit here. Let's take a break. It doesn't mean you're a sissy for changing subject or going off and saying, hey, you're kind of feeling a little bit of the room's kind of getting a little uncomfortable, or the room feels a little bit heated, or that they're angry, or words may be flying already. But it's a good idea to definitely read the room and see where you're gauging in the conversation, because you want to know where that is. And it's okay if you have to do what you got to do, either change the conversation, walk away, or just not engage at all, period, in general. If you know that conversation isn't going to go well, don't engage. I'm sorry if this video's a little bit longer, but I gotta say that, this does need to be said. For you dippers, if you haven't, or if you really are thinking about telling your parents, this is a video that you should be watching. So, gauge the room. De-escalation. Now, let's say words do go flying. And, it's gotten kind of ugly. And you walk away, and they say words that are a little spiteful towards you. And you come back a little bit later, and the conversation is kind of quiet, and you're not sure how to go at the conversation. So here's a little nifty trick I'm going to teach you guys. You don't want to tell them what you're doing, but it's a little mind trick. Sometimes it might work, sometimes it might not. They might not know what you're doing sometimes, they may catch what you're doing, and they might catch what you're throwing at them. So be mindful. Sometimes they will, but they are your family, so they probably already know this by now. But a little mind trick you can throw at them, and will probably work, is by you apologizing first. Now, here's why. Number one reason for you apologizing first, it's not showing you're weak. What it is doing is that you're kind of subjectively implanting in their mind that you're apologizing, but you're not ultimately confronting them and being combative by saying, well, you owe me an apology. Because if you do that, that is combative. That is just you being confrontive, and that is not going to make the conversation go any better. So, don't do that. So, by apologizing first, it's kind of a trick that you're going to basically apologize, that you're again ingraining subjectively in their brain that you're trying to be the bigger person by acknowledging that you might have made a mistake, even though you know you didn't do wrong and you were doing everything right. If you did everything right, you were calm, cool, collected. You weren't the instigator. You weren't having words flying out. You kept your cool. You did everything the way you should. You're basically just showing that you're only apologizing because, one, you're trying to be not only the bigger person, but you're trying to lead the conversation to that you want to emphasize that if you did do something hypothetically that you are sorry, but you're not really hypothetically putting that into terms. You're basically, in a way, metaphorically, you're fishing for an apology in a very roundabout way. You're kind of fishing for that. Hey, I'm sorry, but you're doing it in a way that is kind of a sincere way. Now, when you do it, don't sound corny, cheesy, or very unsincere, because they will know that. So, how you go about it is, if you really want them to possibly apologize to you, just say, look, I first of all want to apologize that if I possibly said or did anything that may have offended you or upset you or caused you to be angry or frustrated with me during the conversation or about the conversation we were having about my choice and habits, I want to apologize. And I want to let you know that my intentions were only to talk to you about my habits, not to upset you or bring you in any way, shape, or form into that point of the conversation to upset you or bring you any anger, pain, or anguish. But I see that I did, and I am sorry. And I want you to know that I am very sorry, and that I really did not want that to happen. And I wish that we can move past this, and I hope that you understand that I am sorry, and that you know that that was not my intentions in the first place, and that my intentions were to only, again, help you understand why I do what I do, and to help try to inform you, not, don't use the word educate, but inform you of why I do my habits, because educate kind of sounds like you're either trying to undermine them or you're trying to patronize them, and you don't want to patronize them or undermine them or make them any more angry. So use very carefully chosen words. I wanted to inform you about my choices and give you information that would give you um, information that I think would be insightful towards maybe helping you understand um, and inform you about my choice in the matter during the conversation we had. And I saw that it upset you a little bit, and that was, again, not my intention, and I do apologize. And that right there, you're implanting that seed. That is a very indirect way of kind of sneaky tactic of getting them to kind of think about they fucked up. But you didn't fuck up. In your head, you should think you never fucked up. If you didn't fuck up, yeah, you shouldn't feel sorry. And you're probably wondering, well, conservative, why should I apologize? Because, again, what that does is you're planting that seed in their mind that you're not only being the bigger person, but you're trying to show that you are trying to be kind of empathetic towards the conversation, that if you did allegedly offend them, yeah, you kind of are in a passive way. You're being a pacifist ish, but you're also trying to plant again that seed that you're fishing for them to tell you that they're sorry and that they should be the ones to apologize, not you, but you're just doing it in a very roundabout way, a kind of fucked up way, not a fucked up way, but you're kind of playing with their brain. So you're playing a mind trick game with them. It's like a Jedi mind trick. This is not the dip you were looking for, y'all. Anyway, before we finish this video, I just wanted to let y'all know one more thing too. It's also very key important that if they do make you choose between dip and family, you know how I'm gonna say always family first. And I know some of y'all are gonna hate me because y'all are gonna be like, well, conservative, you're a dipper. Yeah, but I may be a dipper, but I always go family first. That's always where I stand. I go family first. I always will have family first. And that's just plain simple, straight up. I will go family first. But also remember, set boundaries. That's another thing, is set boundaries. Let them know that in a way that it's not, you don't kind of find it appropriate that they try to give you an ultimatum. Because you don't expect them to do that to you, and you will not do that to them. Now, again, if they let you dip and they tell you, okay, fine, you can dip, but just don't do it around us, then fine. Peg a lip before you go see your family. That's fine. And crazy as it may be, sometimes the wildest shit happens. Sometimes family just don't give no farts. So, y'all know, wildest shit happens, folks. And sometimes they'll let you do it. Who knows? But just know, no matter what, at the end of the day, you have to have boundaries. And boundaries should be set. Don't let them try to cross boundaries that you don't want to be crossed, and that they should have boundaries that they don't want you to cross. And that will be a conversation that you and your family need to have. When it comes down to it, you will have to find your comfort between what boundaries will work for y'all. Because I have mine with my family. I have made my boundaries very clear with me. My family made their boundaries very clear with me and my dip habits. And I've made it, ultimately clear that I will follow that boundaries very clear. So, anyway, y'all keep packing, dipping, and spitting. My name's Conservative Video Dipper, and I'm out, y'all. See you in the next video. Love y'all.